I just kind of get curious sometimes. Are we ready?
Two of these. I was so confused.
No, it is not here. Okay. Amy? City of Perkins, regular meeting Tuesday, March 12th, 2024, 6 p.m. Amy, will you do roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sarah Rebello is absent. Sarah? Yes. Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Join me in prayer, please. Father, we just come to you now. We just thank you for another opportunity to come together and do the best that we can, making decisions for our city. I pray you continue to bless our staff and the police officers. And I just lift up our third grade student who's dealing with a brain tumor. And I pray that we can all be strong like Maverick. In Jesus' precious name, amen. Pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Number 4, consideration and action on consent agenda. Commissioners, anything?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Goodness. Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Number 5. Oh, sorry, never mind. Skip that. 6, public appearances, petitions, communications, and personal appearances. Under Oklahoma law, the city commission members are prohibited from discussing or taking any action on items that are not on today's agenda. Anybody? Number 7, consideration, discussion, and possible action to read and approve proclamation declaring April 2024 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. I believe. Oops. I believe
That is me.
Commissioner Dickerson has a few things she wants to say.
Okay.
You going to the podium? We're going to just do it
Make
from
it official.
wherever you want.
Might as well let you guys. I don't have to?
You can speak from wherever you choose.
Okay, I will stay here.
We wouldn't be able to see you over the podium anyway.
Stopped growing because I'm perfect, okay? Okay, I am here as an employee for the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma in the Victim Services Unit Department. I am the sexual assault advocate there. And April's coming up, which is the awareness month for sexual assault. I will read a few things off of the agenda, kind of give some numbers of what things look like, but it doesn't even touch the surface of how things really are in the real world. Unfortunately, this is something that happens every day to men, women, children, people that are two-spirit, LGBTQIA two-spirit, which I always screw that up, so sorry if I missed the B and the G up. There's a day on April 24th. It's always the third Wednesday of every month. We ask everybody to wear denim. It could be hats, it could be jean jackets, it could be denim shoes, pants. It is a day that represents a woman. When she was 18 years old, she lived in Italy, and she was waiting on her driving instructor to come pick her up for her very first class. Well, her instructor led her down to a abandoned road pretty much, ripped her clothes off, and raped her. What he said a couple years later to get out of it was that he had to have help taking her jeans off because they were too tight. So from that day on, everybody wears denim on April 24th to represent that it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't have to be a sexy dress. It can be a pair of jeans, anything and everything. In Oklahoma right now, the total number of sexual assault abuse victims per 1,000 residents are under the age of 18 in 2001 is 78. There are currently 85 registered sex offenders in Payne County, and as of February 2023, there are 7,856 registered sex offenders in the state of Oklahoma, at 3% increase from 2022. So unfortunately, this is a it's getting worse. There's a lot of people who don't understand what sexual assault could be. It could be touching over the clothes, unwanted kissing, constantly touching or brushing by. Some people just don't know, so they don't say, I need help, this is bothering me. So the Iowa tribe and myself, I'm going to be going throughout April asking people to wear turquoise because that is the representation color of making sexual assault aware. Sorry, my allergies are killing me. I will be posting stuff on Facebook as the tribe will be posting as well, just making it aware that people can talk about this. We are there to help you. We do offer services. Don't be afraid, we'll be your voice for you. One thing that breaks my heart is this happens to more children than we know. And you probably sit next to somebody every day that has been assaulted at some point in time in their life. And they may or may not have told anybody. And a lot of people don't tell people because they're scared. And that all comes down to if they tell their best friend, family member, school counselor, well, maybe not a school counselor, but they don't look at you and say, I believe you. They look at you and say, really? Are you sure? So this is where we all need to take a stand and say, I believe you. How can I help you? So that is what I am doing for the month of April, and I'm asking for us to recognize that.
Absolutely. Commissioners?
You guys have any questions?
No, you did a good job.
I got lots of details.
I make a motion that we approve the proclamation declaring April 2024 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
I'll second.
Since you appeared in your personal and professional capacity, I just advise that you recuse from voting on this matter.
Yes. Do I need to say that as, no? Okay.
Well, what did you call?
You need a second.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yes.
Sarah?
I recuse from voting on this matter.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, number 8, consideration, discussion, and possible action to read and approve proclamation declaring March 17th through the 23rd, 2024 as National Safe Place Week.
Okay,
We know who you are, but come up to the podium and introduce yourself.
go ahead and do it anyway. Huh?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Angie Freeney with Payne County Youth Services. We've been doing this for a long time, huh? National Safe Place Week is March 17th through the 23rd. Thank you. I have a very good memory anymore. Anyway, so we have lots of different activities going throughout the week. We're trying to take things out to our safe place sites. So we still have 56 sites throughout Payne County. So that is in, here in Perkins, we have Perkins Police, Perkins Fire, On Cue, we have the schools, we have a couple of the dental, still Perkins Dental, I believe, Perkins Drug. So we have several, you know, and they're.
Angie, is it okay to have places that aren't open 24/7?
Yeah, yeah. We have some signs that'll say if closed and safe places needed, and it'll list the number to our shelter. So there's probably some throughout the community that need those. They've been, they kind of redid them and they were kind of a mess.
So we could get some of those?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. So anyway, we continue to have about, boy, I always want to say 2 to 4 kids at the shelter, but really it's been a lot more than that. This last year, you know, we usually have about 6 or 7 out there for the most part. So again, we're just kind of, you know, going around celebrating our Safe Place sites. We're gonna be bringing out some goodies and pins and all that kind of stuff. And one more thing I was going to say on here was there being 1,400 communities in 39 states that do the Safe Place program. So it being a national program, that's something that's been super consistent. Started in 1983, so it's been around for a long time. I guess that's all. You guys have any questions?
No, I think it's kind of cool. Both of these proclamations are on the same agenda.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there any location in Perkins that is open 24 hours? Do you know?
PD, that's about it. PD, that's about
Well, I was gonna say the police.
I was wondering.
Probably, yeah, right.
I don't think there's another one that I can think of.
Any of the on-kids or,
So
Yeah.
it's still.
Since COVID, there's hardly anything open that long.
yeah.
When Duncan gets here, it'll be open a lot longer than anything else.
Yeah. You guys get some good places down here.
Yep. Slow progress, but I always appreciate seeing you and appreciate the time that you take on your time off to come up here and talk to us. And
Of course.
make sure we continue to encourage things like this within our community.
You bet.
I would love to work alongside with you.
Yeah.
I would love to work alongside with you.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we have a lot of the same types of causes, you know, with April also being Child Abuse Prevention Month. I think, not sure, we might be trying to do another proclamation for April. So,
For child abuse?
Child Abuse Prevention. So we're on that task force through Penn County Youth Services. So one of the things they're doing the last Sunday in April, they're doing what's called Kaleidoscope. Y'all heard of that? It's a really big festival that's going to be down by Stone Cloud. Is that where that's at? I barely did. That afternoon, and they're going to have like, oh gosh, magicians and just, you know, all kinds of stuff for kids. So it should be really fun.
Commissioners? Anybody?
Read the proclamation.
Yeah, I can read the proclamation. You want me to read it?
If you don't mind.
Yeah. Whereas the youth of Perkins, Oklahoma will determine the future strength of our country and be the bearers of our democracy. Whereas youth need a safe haven from various negative influences such as child abuse, substance abuse, depression, and crime. And youth need readily available resources to assist them when faced with circumstances that compromise their safety. Whereas the Safe Place program is committed to protecting the youth of Perkins, Oklahoma, Payne County, by offering immediate help and safety for young people seeking assistance and guidance. Whereas designated locations where youth can get information and immediate help. Safe Place is found at businesses such as restaurants, convenience stores, movie theaters, and community buildings such as fire stations, libraries, and public transportation vehicles. Whereas the success of Safe Place is based on public-private collaborations between businesses, school systems, fire departments, law enforcement, and network of volunteers. Whereas the City of Perkins needs increased numbers of community volunteers serving as mentors and positive influences on young people. Whereas the Safe Place program must meet performance standards relative to outreach and community relations to receive direct federal assistance as set forth in the Runaway and Homeless Youth Act, 42 USC 5071. Whereas more than 1,400 communities in 39 states administer the Safe Place program at more than 20,000 locations. Whereas more than 398,812 youth have been helped at a Safe Place location or received counseling by phone as a result of Safe Place information received at school and through community presentations. Whereas since program inception in 1983, more than 18 million youth have been educated through national Safe Place networks, Safe Place outreach efforts, familiarizing them with the Safe Place sign and providing them with information about how to seek help in order to stay safe. Whereas increased awareness will encourage more communities to establish Safe Place locations where youth can readily access the help they need. Angie, thank you for coming.
I'll make a motion to approve the proclamation declaring March 17th through the 23rd of 2024 as National Safe Place Week.
I second it.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, would you mind taking a moment to sign that real quick and we can?
Oh, yeah, so she can go?
Do you have a picture?
Hey, Mayor. Yes, I'll do a picture.
All right. Thank you.
Sorry, I talked to her like she's my friend.
Thank you. Yeah. Get together for sure.
Can you see all right? Can you hear me?
Bullying is wrong.
Sure is. But there's a time and place.
I think you might be taller.
I was in her.
Angie,
Oh,
She's gonna get it.
Did you feel that, Mac?
since my evaluation's coming up, I'll be quiet.
I would just like.
It's always good to see you.
Well, that's why I said what I said.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Tell Dwayne I said hi.
I will. Take care. Thank you. Next year.
Yeah,
For the family feud.
oh yeah. Yeah, and if you could grab some of those signs with, yeah, holler at me.
I will.
Or I'll swing by or something. Okay,
Okay. Thanks.
thank you.
Drive safe.
Thank you.
Number 9, consideration, discussion, and possible action to select Cohen Group Engineering for provision of professional services for the City of Perkins in Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma lift station project after evaluation and ranking in accordance with the request for qualification, subject to negotiation of an acceptable contract. City?
So we had 4 submissions for each project. Lift station, Cowan Group came out on top. It was a committee consisting of Mike Owen, which was a representative of the Iowa Tribe, Angela Daughtry from the Iowa Tribe, me, and Tiffany DeArmond from the City of Perkins. And then we just averaged the scores. I did include the score sheets in your packets so you could see that we went by the RFQ that we sent out, and we did put a lot of thought into each one of them. So
The scores and the comments were very much in common and unanimous.
yeah, and it all across the board for each one. It was kind of weird.
Each one, it was just
Yeah,
very,
there was a lot of consistency.
the scores were very similar.
So what we'd like to do is select them as the engineer, and then we'll work on the contract back and forth, and then bring the contract for approval at the next meeting.
Okay.
Unless you're okay with.
I'll make a motion to select Cowan Group Engineering for the provisions of professional services for the City of Perkins and Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma lift station project after evaluation and rankings in accordance with the request for qualifications, subject to negotiation of an acceptable contract.
I'll second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Number 10, consideration, discussion, and possible action to select Cowan Group Engineering for provision of professional services for the City of Perkins and Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma Water Tower Project after evaluation and ranking in accordance with the request for qualification, subject to negotiation of an acceptable contract.
And this same speech, different, there were a couple different submittals, but it worked out the same way.
Also looked like they came a little bit more prepared.
And some of the others, yes. Yeah, you could definitely tell.
That's
There were
good.
a couple that were at the very top.
It's not that your job was easy by any means, but sure just kind of came to the top what needed to,
Yeah. Yep.
you know. Commissioners, anybody?
I'll make a motion to select Cowan Group Engineering for provisions of professional services for the City of Perkins and Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma Water Tower Project after evaluation and ranking in accordance with the request for qualifications, subject to negotiation of acceptable contract.
Second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Number 11. Oh, what? Surprise, surprise.
If you want to just read the underlined portions on that one,
Oh, okay.
I am not going to require you to read all of that or make the motions of all of that.
The redacted version of whatever. I'm just kidding. Where's the black Sharpie?
I know, if I'd had a black Sharpie.
I gotta focus here now. I'll focus. Number 11, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve Resolution 2-2024, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Perkins, Oklahoma, canvassing the results of the special election conducted in the City of Perkins, Oklahoma, on the 13th day of February, 2024, for in ordinance number 496, and accepting the results of,
495.
it was marked, oh, there it is. Highlight that. For the approval of ordinance number 495 and ordinance number 496, and accepting the results of such special election and declaring the measures as passed.
I was looking for one of those.
Do you want to handle it?
Do you want me to do it now, or are y'all good?
No, it's too late.
Next time.
Special. Oh, boy.
It's required by law that you pass this resolution.
Okay. Commissioners, anything?
Nope.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve Resolution 22-2024 of the City Commission of the City of Perkins, Oklahoma, canvassing the results of the special election conducted on February 13th, 2024, for the approval of ordinances 495 and ordinance 496, and accepting the results of the special election and declaring the measure as passed.
I'll second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah, yes, Justin, Jason,
Ma'am.
My eyes crossed. Listen. Number 12, consideration and discussion regarding, Mayor Carla Cummings' report on the 2024 Oklahoma Municipal League Annual Congress of Mayors held February 8th and 9th, 2024. That's me. All right. You ready, Amy? Carla Cummings, 304 Southeast 3rd, Perkins, Oklahoma. BR 549. Okay. Remind me not to drink a Spark before one of these meetings. Every time.
Every time.
Okay, so the mayor's council, we met in Oklahoma City, and we went up and we had some hashing out sessions, and then we went up to the legislative floor. But anyway, the mayor's council is a bipartisan organization that's supposed to help represent the concerns and the views of our constituent, of our people. It's a vehicle for helping to develop and implement programs with multi-jurisdictional cooperation between cities and towns, hopefully helping to make some of the burden less on our communities. Basically, we get together to fight for our people and some of the issues that are going on. We had approximately 90 Oklahoma mayors, vice mayors, and council members, and we met on Thursday evening to debate some municipal issues to change. We received what you have in your packet. We received that a couple weeks before the conference, the resolutions that were written by the Speaker of the House and the Speaker Pro Tem. And then we went into our breakout sessions to go over them or to change them, to make any amendments before we took it to the legislative floor and argued about it. So the breakout sessions were not an argument. They were more like a discussion of listening to everyone. I did learn on that trip that some of these mayors have a gavel. I was curious. Then that evening of February, we had the, I'll tell you that last. So Friday morning, we go to the legislative floor, and we learned a lot of parliamentary procedure. We got to sit in these very fancy chairs that our tax dollars are paying for. We didn't have the voting buttons weren't turned on, but we did have the microphones where we could stand up and ask questions. Of course, we were taught how to ask questions, and everything you would say to whoever was bringing forth a resolution, you had to, everything had to be stated in a question form. It's like you were on Jeopardy or something. It was really, I met the mayor of Tishomingo, who, by the way, she's also a PE teacher, the mayor. We were missing our yoga pants, I'm telling you. We decided that since we were new to all this, we were just going to sit back and not say a word, but I couldn't help myself on a couple things. I can't. Really got some really cool networking. Picked up a lot of business cards. Are you being ornery?
No,
Take a picture.
I deleted it.
He's making fun of me.
I was searching for a gavel.
With a highlighter in it.
Here, take me close again. I won't go through all the resolutions. I mean, you guys could read them, but one was municipal finance, where we opposed the sales tax exemptions just because our municipalities, we know that it passed, but we also know that we need to talk to our people and make them understand that when you go to the grocery store, there's still going to be something at the bottom that says sales tax, because that's the part that goes to the city. So I did call Mr. Talley. He spent quite a bit of time on the phone with me with advice and where they were coming from. So I would encourage any of us and anyone who's listening out there, call your representatives if you have questions. They'll take the time to answer you. The second one was transportation and infrastructure. I signed up for that one. Whoa, it was a lot. We talked about broadband improvements. We talked about right-of-way notifications and how it needs to get better. And that one was only focused on broadband and not any other companies. Fiscal sustainability of municipal operations. That's basically about elected and appointed officials, education, and sewer system liabilities, and then elections. Then there was community and economic development, talking about how to ensure that we still get our REAP money, increasing money for the film companies that want to come in. We talked about a grocery tax again. And then the last one was public safety. How a firearm should be carried was interesting discussion. So you can read the resolution that we finally got down to. It gets pretty picky about how you're supposed to carry your firearm. And then probably the biggest thing out of resolution 2405, the public safety one would be, we are advocating to increase the penalties for assault on our code enforcement officers that have to go out and put tickets on doors and things like that. So it is a great way to network. I think that fits in some of our strategic planning goals that we had. My husband did go with me. I asked him what he was going to do during the day. He said, I'll go shopping with the rest of the wives. But he just went back to the motel and took a nap. Thursday night, we did have a mayor's ball. We all dressed up fancy clothes, and we had a good time networking and visiting, and I got to have a really good conversation with Mayor Joyce of Stillwater. Met some people out of War Acres. That was great. I thought about you. I won't say the city, but there was 4 of them standing there talking around together. I was like, I don't know if, Anyway. So, to end with, I know that, I didn't mean to talk this long. Learning on the legislative floor was a really cool experience, and meeting some like-minded people was very good, and then meeting more experienced like-minded people. There was a couple of city managers there. The city manager from Durant was there. And then it wasn't, it just says mayors, Congress of Mayors, but there was also council people and commissions, and then you already know that Oklahoma government, municipal government is set up so differently, but yet it's good to continue learning and what everybody's role is and things like that in different cities and what they're dealing with. And there were some really small towns there, and like One Horse Saloon, and their problems are,
And a sewer plant.
ours are nothing compared to their problems of trying to stay with their head floating above water. And so it was really good and eye-opening. I did text Bob on the way home. I told him that my brain was tired. But anyway, I do appreciate the city sending me and letting me go to that. I'll probably go again.
Mayor, if I might, the city attorney for Tishomingo and the city attorney for War Acres are 2 of my go-to people.
Are they?
For different reasons. And so you picked up with a couple of well-advised cities anyway.
The mayor of War Acres brought his 2 brand new twin babies to the conference. Met one of the council members, and she and I exchanged phone numbers. I'm gonna invite her to one of our meetings, and she's already invited me to one of her.
Tishomingo?
No, War Acres.
War Acres?
Mhm.
Okay. So Tishomingo does a lot of work with tribes. So that's, the city attorney there helped me with the Iowa tribe agreement that we did. So I'm just saying, it's really, I agree with you, networking is really important.
It is. I mean, it's almost like you almost learn more that way than you do, picking up a piece of paper. The only got in trouble once, and the guy that came to play the music for the dance, it was just too much. But there was only one song where Dennis and I could dance, and I was over there with Mayor Joyce and did as well. He's like, whoa, snub me.
I have one other comment. Bob and I are working on a right-of-way management ordinance at this right now.
A what?
A right-of-way ordinance, you were talking about that. And managing your right-of-way, so that's
That one dealt very highly with the broadband. I think there's just been some issues throughout the state
Yep.
with
They just come in and do what they
just
want.
come in and do it themselves, and there's no notification of anything. And, other companies do the same thing. And I just think there ought to be a little bit more respect for the communities that you're going into, because those communities are the ones putting money in your pocket. And along the broadband, they talked a lot about federal funding and how the federal funding, we might get federal funding, but it goes through the state, and then the state,
decides.
fees. like handling fees, and so we discussed, one of them on here is, I think, I researched back to 2020, and I read those resolutions, and I read 2023's resolutions before I got there, and one of them that has been on here all those 3 years was the restructuring of the Oklahoma tax system. But feels like Don Quixote
Will be.
with his tooth. So, but thank you guys for listening, and it was a good time. All right, moving along. 13. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve ordinance number 499 and ordinance amending section 8-4-17 sewer main extension of Perkins City Code Title 8, Planning and Zoning, Chapter 4 amendments, and declaring an emergency.
And I usually include the part of the ordinance that shows the stricken language, and I failed to do that this time, so
I failed to notice that we failed to do it. and
so Tammy will just, we have failed.
We failed.
But Tammy will read
Yeah.
what we desire to have taken out of this ordinance.
Okay.
You're looking at the clean copy. What we're taking out is the last third of this ordinance. And let me just explain to you a little bit about what this says. It says that a developer or owner has to pay to put in sewer lines when they're doing a new development. And then it says, and anything they put in becomes the property of the city. They dedicate it to us, it becomes ours because it hooks up to our sewer system or our water lines, and it becomes the sole and exclusive property of the city. There's also a provision in here that says, and if a developer's putting in a line that for their development, let's say they only need an 8-inch pipe, but we think, well, if you just keep going further, there's gonna be more development. The city can pay the difference. If we say, boy, we would really like to have a 12-inch pipe here, developer, we can pay the difference in the materials. We can come to an agreement with, we don't have to, but we can, to get a 12-inch pipe there because we think it's gonna benefit us down the road. That's an option we have. The language that I asked to be removed said, provided, however, if a main is located to render it possible for tracts of land not owned by the developer, so those others that look attractive, to be served through the main, then the developer or owner shall retain title to the main. So they keep title to the sewer main. And basically it goes on to say, and then they will lease it back. They'll lease it back to the city. So they keep the title to the main and they lease it to the city. It doesn't say they may, it says they shall have the title and they shall lease it back. And all of that is problematic. We don't want to be leasing our infrastructure, we want to be owning our infrastructure. And so I just ask that we remove that provision. And I think any of us can get you the redlined version, but that's basically taking out the part that says that we're gonna not do anything other than own our own infrastructure.
So, under C, the last sentence is
Yes.
all such sewer main extensions upon completion shall become the sole and exclusive property of the city and shall be operated and maintained as a part of the city sanctuary sewer system?
Yes, and then there would be a period there instead of this additional language saying provided, however,
Okay, gotcha.
that we could do this lease. So just taking out the lease language. And you can't really say to a developer, you shall lease your property, you shall lease it back to the city. That's a little bit problematic. So you'll see little by little. What Bob and I would really, really like to do is a complete rework of our zoning ordinance, a complete rework of our comprehensive plan. We're not there yet, so the things that bug us most, we're actually bringing to you a little along. And it's not the best, maybe the best way to do it, but it is what we're able to do right now. So this isn't actually in the zoning code, but it kind of goes with it. So, any questions?
I almost think little by little is easier to,
Yeah.
it's like,
Digest?
yeah, it's like eating an elephant. You just take it one bite at a time when you've got the time. Eating an elephant, you never heard that?
We got a big old elephant.
It's a big elephant. How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
You don't.
You need school. All right, commissioners, anybody? I make a motion to approve ordinance number 499 and ordinance amending section 8-4-17 sewer main extension of Perkins City Code Title 8, Planning and Zoning, Chapter 4 amendments and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Number 14, consideration, discussion, and possible action on declaring an emergency on ordinance 499.
So you approved the ordinance that includes that language?
It's already done?
That's an item, and now you're actually declaring it an emergency.
Absolutely. I make a motion that we declare ordinance number 499 an emergency.
I'll second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
15, motion to enter executive session pursuant to 25 OS 307B.1 to discuss the employment, promotion, demotion, and/or discipline of the city manager.
Second. Easy on the disciplining.
Do you want to take a break before?
Huh?
Want to take a break before executive session? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, do you want to take a vote on that? Apologize.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Air conditioner order.
yes, Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Voted out anyways.
And you've turned.
Number 16, motion to exit executive session and reconvene in open session.
I'll second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Number 17, consideration, discussion, and possible action as a result of executive session regarding the employment, promotion, demotion, and/or discipline of the city manager. I make a motion that we direct city attorney to evaluate the results of our performance evaluation of the city manager and offer contract as discussed.
I'll second that.
Did you get all that, Amy?
yeah,
Yeah, I could not do that job.
Justin,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Number 18, new business. Under the Open Meeting Act, this agenda item is authorized only for matters not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting the agenda or any revised agenda. Number 19, I make a motion that we adjourn the regular meeting for the City of Perkins Tuesday, March 12th, 2024.
I'll second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Perkins Public Works Authority agenda, regular meeting Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. Let me do a roll call.
You start the recorder back?
Yes, I did. Thank you, sir.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah Rebello is absent. Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Number 2, consideration and action on consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Number 4, public appearances, petitions, communications, and personal appearances. Under Oklahoma law, Perkins Public Works Authority board members are prohibited from discussing or taking any action on items not on today's agenda. Number 5, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve the amendment to January 10th, 2024 wastewater solid sludge disposal contract with Northern Oklahoma Disposal Incorporated to provide that the total contract cost shall not exceed $75,000 rather than $50,000, subject to an agreement approved by the city attorney.
This is just an increase in hauling the sludge off. We're afraid we were gonna go over.
The 90,
No, well, the 94 is separate from this.
okay,
The 94 is to haul it. This is to place it in a drying bed at the landfill.
at the landfill, okay.
And we're getting close to being complete.
So you think we'll spend all of that?
Yeah.
Did you say placed in a drying bed?
Yeah, because we generally dry, the normal procedure is we dry it here with a belt press, squeeze the water out. Since we've had the issues, we're taking it out in a thick slurry, and the landfill has a special permit to dry it. They put it in basically a dry pond area and mix it around.
And sell it to energy drink companies.
They have a DEP permit for that.
In your spark.
I'll make a motion that we approve the amendment to January 10th, 2024 wastewater solid sludge disposal contract with Northern Oklahoma Disposal, Inc. to provide the total contract cost shall not exceed $75,000 rather than $50,000, subject to an agreement approved by the city attorney.
I'll second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Number 6, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve purchase order number 2402045 to Northern Oklahoma Disposal Incorporated in the amount of $25,000 as described above. Just approving what we just did.
Yeah, just so we can issue the check.
Check.
I'll make a motion to approve purchase order number 2402045 to Northern Oklahoma Disposal, Inc. in the amount of $25,000 as described above.
I'll second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Justin? Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Number 7, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve Resolution 3-2024, a resolution amending solid waste collection fees. So, staff report.
That's what was, I don't know why this is probably there because it's whole resolution and we're just doing an amendment to it.
Anybody know what's being amended on this?
Yeah.
Rates.
The rates.
On all of them?
I don't recall.
I thought it was because this is the amendment.
That's what you asked to see right before. The agenda.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure it made sense, but I don't know why y'all were doing it.
It's an annual, I think we do it each year.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you wrong.
Well, that makes sense because we've got on here the above listed rate schedule shall be effective July 1st.
I believe they have it built into their contract for a X% increase every year, and this reflects that
Yes, they
increase
do.
contractually.
That's right. So that resolution is to increase their rates contractually.
I read the contract.
In the contract.
It's a certain amount every year based upon
Yeah.
the numbers.
for the.
Yeah, they raise up,
For the trash.
I think it's like 3%,
Well, we
and
went
we
through-
can't charge the customer that unless we do the resolution.
Right, and so, was it last year or year before last that they hadn't increased it in a while, like
Yeah.
they should have because of billing issues? And then we got slapped with
The fuel surcharge.
the surcharge, which the city paid for, and then we also had customers not paying what was going on.
Yep.
But if you do read the contract, it's an automatic.
It is, and it's a way better contract now than it was.
Yes.
Well, if they keep on wiping out the mailboxes. My neighbor across the street and the neighbor to the south of me.
Really?
Maybe all in one deal, I think.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 3-2024, a resolution amending solid waste collection fees.
I'll second.
Go ahead.
I'll second.
Okay.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Number 8, consideration, discussion, and possible action to select Cohen Group Engineering for provision of professional services for the City of Perkins and Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma lift station project after evaluation and ranking in accordance with request for qualification, subject to negotiation of an acceptable contract.
This is on both agendas because both the city and PPWA will enter into the agreements with the engineers because the infrastructure will be owned by the city, but some of the funding's coming through ARPA funds or funds granted to PPWA, and so it's a do-over, so we can put both on the contract.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to select Cowan Group Engineering for provisions of professional services for the City of Perkins and Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma lift station project after evaluation and ranking in accordance with the request for qualification, subject to negotiation of an acceptable contract.
I second it.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Number 9, consideration, discussion, and possible action to select Cohen Group Engineering for provision of professional services for the City of Perkins and Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma Water Tower Project after evaluation and ranking in accordance with the request for qualification, subject to negotiation of an acceptable contract.
And I'll just say the reason there's 2 different items here is if you'll remember, we actually have a contract with the Iowa Tribe regarding the tower and the funding for that, and then a separate contract regarding it, so we're trying to just keep those all very separate.
Make a motion to select Cowan Group Engineering for provision of professional services for the City of Perkins and Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma Water Tower Project after evaluation and ranking in accordance with the request for qualification, subject to negotiation of the city of an acceptable contract.
Second it.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Number 10, new business. Under the Open Meeting Act, this agenda item is authorized only for matters not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting the agenda or any revised agenda. Okay, everybody's. Number 11, I make a motion that we adjourn the Perkins Public Works Authority Tuesday, March 12th, 2024.
I'll second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.